but I still feel like Pop is with us. I still listen to him every day, and I still like think about it. And I showed him the scenes from the film, so he loved it. He was really
Yeah.
happy. He's like Hollywood. Hey Tara, how's it going?
It's going great. Whose idea was it to celebrate your birthday at a virtual press day? Happy
Uh,
birthday.
thank you, thank you.
I wanted to ask you about your parents, an interview they did a while ago where they were asked if it was difficult for them to read your memoir and some of the parts that you share about growing up with them. And your dad said, not really. But I was curious, was it different when they see it portrayed on a big screen? Some of the things that you might have pulled versus reading about it?
It's a really good question. Yeah, my dad, also, he's a little older. It's 7 years since fresh off the boat.
Right.
And I think at that time in my dad's life, I think he just turned 60. He was still very, like, I was a great dad, and don't complain about me. And he felt confident in what he did as a father. And over the last 7 years, I think he softened a bit. And his reaction when him and my mother watched Boogie for the first time, we sat on the couch, and when the movie ended, we didn't say anything for almost a minute. And my dad just nodded and he said, I'm really proud of you. You did a great job. I see myself in this film. I see what you're saying about family, and you get it. You get
Wow.
us. I feel seen. I feel understood, and my mom did too. And I really can say my parents, I think, were scared to examine their behavior as parents, um, and as lovers. But as time has passed by, I think they're more confident in their love for each other and also what they did as parents, and that they're able to reflect on the bad as well as the good. And that was a big moment for us.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, I almost get emotional thinking about it. As you say in the film, love conquers even the sharpest sword, and hopefully that's something that they got too. Speaking of love, the love that Pop's fans are going to feel when they watch this performance, I can't imagine what this whole thing has been like for you. But can you just share, if you don't mind, what do you want people to know about him? Taylor told a great story about his fans showing up to watch some of the basketball scenes and how great he was with some of the kids. But what would you like people to know about him? What a talent.
I just want people to know that he is number one, fearless, number two, the most talented person you'll ever know, but three, that he's a real sweetheart and a lover. And I think one of his best moments is when he, after the game, and what he says to Boogie. And he's a phenomenal, lovable guy that we really miss.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss him for a very long time, But I still feel like Pop is with us, I still listen to him every day, and I still like think about it and talk to him wherever he is in the ether. And I think I showed him the scenes from the film, so he loved it. He was really
Yeah.
happy. He's like Hollywood.
Well, they say death may end a life, but it doesn't end a relationship. And that relationship, I'm sure, definitely continues for you. I wish we had more time. I want to celebrate your birthday in person. So if you've been to Arizona, next time you come, I'll take you out to your favorite spot here in Arizona. You know
Thank
restaurants.
you, Tara. There's some good Italian food in Arizona.
Oh,
Yeah,
there is. Yeah.
yeah,
Thanks.
a lot
Thanks,
of
Eddie.
good.
Congrats on everything. And happy
Take care.
birthday. Taylour Paige, I'll start with you since you're both Taylors. At what point did you realize Eddie had cast his personal assistant to be your lead? And your first thought was what?
I knew that going in because I had 2 days to decide if I was going to take the role. Like it was like we have to know today.
Yeah.
So I already knew, and I was down because I'm all about like reality anyway. Like obviously like acting is a lie, but it's a lie in service of the truth. So I'm like, I mean, if you wrote it and directed it and you know this person, you obviously like you got it. Like it's surrender and trust. Like I was fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the story is amazing. Taylor Takahashi. So I'm sure that you felt confident you could handle this, or else you wouldn't have taken this on. But what were you most nervous about, and what surprised you the most about the process?
I was the most nervous about just being in front of the camera. I mean, before that, like I'm not one to avoid the camera, but I'm okay without the spotlight in life. I know what the work that I put in, and I trust myself. So it was just kind of like I'll never get past the first day that was in my trailer. I had one line, and I'm just pacing back and forth for 2.5 hours, just looking at myself in the mirror, like, you got this, you could do it, you could say one line, no biggie. But what I learned is that, it's just a extremely big condensed growth process for me. And stepping out and trusting that like the unknown sometimes actually has some hidden gems in there. And I found a hidden gem in myself. So I'm very grateful for the experience, and it changed my life.
Yeah, I thought you did a great job. Speaking of one line, I won't repeat it, but when you guys first meet in the gym, and I know Taylour Paige, your line is basically you've got a staring problem. Taylor Takahashi, your line can't be repeated. It's a talk about a first line. Your first time meeting, was that a little bit different than the way it went down in the movie?
Oh yeah, yeah. Taylor is a lot more demure and calm and like, hello, nice to meet you. And Boogie is, well, Boogie.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad it went well. I cannot leave this interview, obviously, without asking about Pop. I mean, you just watch the whole movie and you think just a life cut way too short.
Yeah.
Your fondest memory, Taylor Takahashi, of working with him. I mean, this was his first film. He had such a future.
Yeah, no, my favorite memory was, I think it was the second day we were recording the basketball outside at the barracks. We're at like wee hours in the morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning. We break for lunch. We're walking over this overpass, and like, mind you, there's a bunch of kids and young teens and adults all kind of surrounding around the court because they just want to see him. And he was kind of like Mr. New York in a way. And so we cross over this overpass, and Pop's like 20 or 30 feet in front of me, and this kid comes running up to me and he's like, "Hey, is that Pop Smoke?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's him." And he's like, "Can I say hi?" I was like, "Why not? Go say hi." And so his best friend Mike was closer to me. So I'm like, "Hey Mike, is it cool if this kid comes and says hello?" And he's like, yeah, of course. And I'm sure Pop gets this like 100 million times, whatever, right? Takes a picture with the kid, daps him up, like the kid is just like on cloud nine. And I'm just sitting there just like, damn kid, like you could have had a picture with me as well, but you didn't get one. You messed up. No, but it's just his energy that he had is just, you could not bottle it. You can't bottle that type of energy. And it was such a great spirit to be around.